We have a time-honored tradition of inviting one of Stockton's finest to deliver the winter commencement speech. This year, our speaker was unanimously nominated by the Faculty Senate and, of course, received my wholehearted endorsement. I am delighted, absolutely delighted to have Dr. Patricia Reid-Merritt, our distinguished professor of social work and Africana studies, as today's commencement speaker. Her message today will be extraordinary. Please join me in giving an enthusiastic welcome to Dr. Patricia Reid-Merritt.
Thank you, Dr. Kesselman. And to the faculty, the distinguished guests, family, friends, and certainly the class of 2015, I thank you for having me here this morning to share a few words with you. It was just a couple of weeks ago, I got a call from Mr. Brian Jackson from the President's office, and the call said, call me back, it's really important, call me right away. So I called him back and I said, what's up? He said, you've been selected the commencement speaker. I said, so you couldn't find anybody else? Because I can't imagine why students who have spent the last 4 or 5 or 6 years here working towards this degree want to hear a few words from a faculty member. Now, I've been here since 1976. That's 40 years. And I've sat on this stage many times. And I've heard many, many commencement speakers. I can't tell you who their names were. I can't tell you what they said. I remember sitting over there thinking, when is this going to be over? Because more than anything else, I came here to either to get my degree or my family came here to see me get this degree. And so I've decided, look, this is going to be short. It needs to be short because every time you hear a commencement speaker, they usually get up and say pretty much the same thing. They say things like, you're about to start on a new journey. Go out and do good in the world. Be good to yourself, good to the family, good to the community. So I'm not going to say any of that because you're going to hear some of that. But I am going to tell you a brief story. And the brief story has to do with my own personal struggle. Like some of you, I was a first generation college student. And I remember early in my life thinking, something's not right here. As you can see, I'm an African-American woman. I was born into a very poor family in Philadelphia, an urban area. And I remember thinking, something is wrong, and there's just too many obstacles in my way. How am I ever going to be anything if I got to grow up with all these obstacles? And I remember thinking about, well, you got to do something to try to survive. And remember the opportunity that I had suddenly to go to an exclusive all-girls college on the main line in Philadelphia. And I arrived with great enthusiasm. The problem was I was experiencing cultural shock because I didn't know who these people were. They didn't know who I was. They said they were speaking English. I was speaking English too, but they said they didn't understand what I was talking about. And so I thought, oh, another obstacle. I'm not going to get through this. But I finally made it. And then I went to graduate school, and I thought, oh, gosh. At the same time, I was a young teenage mother, married. And I thought, I'm not going to make this. But again, I thought, you got to do something to remove the obstacles. You got to do something to make sure that you survive. And so eventually, I wake up one day, and I'm sitting in my big house, looking out at my acreage of land. I'm looking at my giant TV, 55-inch high definition, and I'm thinking to myself, I've made it. And all of a sudden, something scurries across the floor, and I scream, Bill, Bill! My husband comes running downstairs. What's wrong? I said, there's a mouse in this house. And he said, well, you know, they got to live somewhere. And you sort of moved into their neighborhood. Now, I wasn't happy with that. And I thought, this is just one obstacle, another obstacle I'm going to take care of. So I decided I'm going to be a mouse killer. You know, I've achieved these other things. I'm going to be a mouse killer. And I go to the store, I go to the hardware store, and I get this trap. And it's this little box, and it got sticky stuff in it. It's going to trap the mouse. And if you're really smart, you put in a chunk of cheddar cheese. And that makes certain that the mouse goes into the box. So I set up the trap, I put it behind the TV, I went to bed, got up the next morning confident that I had removed this obstacle. Well, I looked behind the TV, I saw the box, it was open, the cheese was gone, and there was no mouse. And I thought, here's the lesson I want to leave with these students. I need you to be as slick, as creative, as innovative as that mouse. And remember, there are no obstacles in this world that are too big for you to overcome. Congratulations to the class of 2015. know, isn't it, right?
She is absolutely unbelievable. I told you extraordinary. Thank you very much, Dr. Reid-Merritt. Mr. Ciccone, it is my distinct pleasure to recommend Dr. Patricia Reid-Merritt to you for the presentation of a Distinguished Service Award.
Thank you. By the way, that was the best commencement speech I've ever heard. Dr. Kesselman, I accept your nomination of Dr. Reid-Merritt for the distinguished service with this salutation. In recognition of Dr. Reid-Merritt's outstanding leadership and service as Distinguished Professor of Social Work and Africana Studies, for her respected body of work as an author, educator, scholar, and performing artist, as well as her community activism as chairperson of the Fannie Lou Hamer National Statute Committee and founder of the annual Fannie Lou Hamer Union and Civil Rights Symposium. We also acknowledge Dr. Reid-Merritt for her significant community engagement and for her many contributions to the Stockton University, the community, and the state of New Jersey.